Well, good morning, everyone, and I'm hoping you're having a great week as we're making our way into midweek on this Wednesday. We had a big day of students heading back to school today. It's a big day for districts in eastern North Dakota. A lot of them checking in with me, letting me know that the back to school day today got started for a ton. Here's a look at a list of many. Central Cass, Northern Cass, Wahpeton, Larimore, Cavalier, Fairmount, Hankinson, Lemoore, New Rockford, Cheyenne, Dakota Prairie, Griggs County Central Schools, and I'm sure there are more, and I'm sorry if I don't have you on the list. I tried to include as many people as I could and as many schools as I could find. And of course, it was great hearing from you too. We've got more coming up. Tomorrow's a big day. We're going to be seeing school start for West Fargo students and other students around the valley. So here's what the school day has been looking like for students. It was a little foggy this morning to start, but we are looking at temperatures getting into the 80s today with some sunshine for the afternoon hours coming up for us this afternoon. So again, conditions have been on the quieter side for us for today. That does change. We've got some changes in store for us with some roller coaster temperatures in the next week or so. And then on top of that, we do have some chances for rain as well. So I'm going to take a look at our conditions here this morning. Make sure I'm using the right mouse. There we go. And so let's take a look at what we've got going on. So we did have that fog this morning, and we're looking at visibility that's really improved. We're at 5 miles in Gwinner, 5 in Carrington, and looking at the Grand Forks area at about 9 miles for visibility. So real big improvements since earlier this morning when we were at 0 in a lot of places. On our view in Fargo, you can see the sun creating those shadows from the trees, blue sky with some haze still in the distance, but a lot of us again getting to enjoy some sunny skies and temperatures on the rise. We're in the 60s to some low 70s here this morning, and we'll continue to see those numbers go up today. It's going to be another warm day, muggy day out there too. Now, most areas are looking really good. There's just that one spot up along the international border where we're watching for rain and thunder showers dipping in. There's a wave moving through north of the border, and so that is more likely to impact areas up along the international line here. So counties like Cavalier, Pembina, back over to Towner County. Folks in these counties, of course, seeing some rain. There's been a little bit of lightning here. And then this will likely continue on if it holds together into northwest Minnesota too. So that's the exception to the rule of mostly sunny skies here in the valley for today. So let's take a look at our temperatures for this afternoon. We're going to get into the low to some mid 80s coming up in the forecast, and some sunny skies to go along with that. It's going to be on the muggy side. You can see our muggy faces. Shocked face there. I love those emojis for this. We're looking at humid conditions for us here today. So kids heading home from school are going to feel that mugginess a little bit more than what we were experiencing this morning. So building in that moisture with that southeasterly wind, and that's going to feed into the cold front that passes through over the course of the next 24 to 36 hours. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour planner. It's been fairly quiet, aside again from activity up along the border. This is 5 p.m., still looking pretty good for us here in the valley at that point in time. Now moving on into the nighttime, we see another wave try to dip in from the north. And in fact, we'll be watching for our next round moving in overnight and into tomorrow morning along the front. So this is 11 p.m. Could see another round this evening in the northern valley and our border counties. And then you can see by the time we get into the overnight hours, a lot of rain up by Winnipeg. And then we'll get that cold front draping from that, sweeping through. And so overnights, again, another round for places up north. This tries to move eastward. It's slow to move on. So that's going to be a big difference maker here. How far east the front makes it is going to influence whether we see severe storms or not. If we see that front get a little farther east, that means more areas are cloud cover, have more cloud cover over them, and we're getting some rain in the morning hours as well. Those tend to act as inhibitors for storm development in the afternoon hours. So if we are more cloudy in the morning early on, the chances for severe are going to be less likely. If the front holds a little farther west, then we may see our severe chances still on that higher, I shouldn't say high side, but a greater chance for severe weather, we'll say, for tomorrow, even though it's still a low risk. And we'll get into that in just a moment. But you can see the timing here. This is 8 a.m. Moving on into the risk for severe storms for tonight. we do have that potential with some of those moving in overnight. Again, these risks are for a 24-hour period. So today's risk goes all the way through the overnight hours to 7 a.m. tomorrow. So this is more focused in on these overnight hours where we see that storm move in. So again, watching for storms basically all the way to Grand Forks and then points northwest from there. The rest of us looking pretty quiet. But tomorrow the risk does encompass the entire valley. We do have that chance. And we're watching out for, you know, not many storms, but if we do see one form, it could produce some large hail, golf ball size hail. Or we could see it produce wind gusts to 70 miles per hour, but it might just be one or maybe two storms that do that tomorrow. So again, watching for a severe again on another day here on this coming Thursday. So let's take a look at our storm risk. So morning hours, we just saw earlier that we have the potential for rain to be going on at that point. But once we get into the noon hour, you can see a couple of cells here starting to pop up, starting to look a little bit more robust with that, you know, pink showing up on that future radar, indicating a heavier rainfall rate or the possibility that we might be getting hail within that storm. Notice there are large areas not getting anything at that point too. And you can see Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, even Fargo may still be quiet through the morning. It's not until afternoon and evening that a lot of these places see their first chance for some rain. But places like Grand Forks could be in the midst of that around the noon hour. And then moving on into the afternoon, again, you see that one cell that looks pretty intense, and then others that are a little bit weaker trying to make their way through. This is again 2 p.m. moving into the 5 o'clock hour, another one isolated cell. This particular scenario has it south of Grand Forks, but just a reminder, this is a computer simulation. This is not gospel. This is not what's going to happen for sure, but it does give us a good idea of what we may be experiencing. So this cell here may not be at this exact location at 5 p.m. It could be, you know, southeastern North Dakota. It could be more into Minnesota at that point. But what we need to take away from it is somewhere in the valley we might see a severe isolated thunderstorm pop up. And that's what we'll be watching out for tomorrow throughout the day. And of course, checking the radar throughout the day on the VNL weather app is something you can do as well. And then heading into 8 p.m., starting to quiet down as the front continues to move eastward. You can see there's a cell kind of, it's blocked by the label there, but kind of around the Fargo-Moorhead area, and then down into the Southern Valley too. So again, it may take a while for some of us to see that chance for rain tomorrow. And then once it clears, we're quieting down into tomorrow night. So again, tomorrow afternoon, looking at some heat, looking at some humidity still, some 80s in the forecast for us tomorrow, but more clouds and the possibility for strong storms coming up for your Thursday. Then things start to change, and we've been talking about this a little bit. A flannel alert for the weekend. And what I mean by that is you might need to break out your flannels. You might need to do that fall kind of wardrobe check because we're looking at temperatures this weekend that are going to be pretty cool. We're looking at the potential for some 60s for highs both days coming up, both Saturday and Sunday, and that's the high temperature. And right now, a lot of us are experiencing our lows in the 60s. So that gives you an idea of, you know, just how much of this a little bit of a roller coaster we're going to be on as far as temperatures are concerned heading into the weekend behind this system. So let's take a look at our temperatures. You can see Saturday, 60s to around 70, and there is a chance, I can't rule it out, an isolated shot we might see a little bit of rain on Saturday. And then moving into Sunday, will be more partly cloudy Saturday. Sunday, more opportunities at sunshine, but cooler, drier air taking over. And we're looking at low 60s to upper 60s for highs on Sunday. And our overnight lows are more likely to be into the 40s. So here's a look at our planner next 7 days and beyond. You can see that we have temperatures on Friday more into the 70s, so starting to get that cooler air moving in. And then moving on into the weekend, more into the 60s at that point. So conditions are going to be looking a lot cooler with lows in the 40s overnight Saturday night into Sunday, and overnight Sunday night and into Monday, and perhaps even into Tuesday as well. It might take a minute to warm back up, but we do. We recover. We get into some 70s, upper 70s, to even perhaps 80 by next Saturday. So yes, a taste of fall this weekend, but we're not done with summer yet. Do we have 90s in the forecast? No, but we do have warmer temperatures to return back into that last full week of August coming up here in the forecast. So again, a reminder, we have that chance for some storms today. And then as we take a look at our forecast heading into the weekend, we are watching out for that risk for severe storms as well. So, or excuse me, the possibility for some cold temperatures as well for August standards, that is. Of course, we know 60s sound just downright tropical when we're getting into winter time, but this is going to be a little cooler than what we're used to. So I want to give you that heads up, that first alert that we may experience that coming up here in the forecast. So stay tuned, and we'll of course be updating you on our risk for severe as we move into tonight and into tomorrow as well, tracking that along with you and keeping you up to date on the latest storms moving through. So if you or one of your students started school today, happy first day. Tomorrow we'll do it all over again. We'll talk about first day of school and that forecast for what to wear on that first day as far as the weather is concerned on the Valley today, and again right here on Valley News Now. So have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk again soon.